We're going to do 6 minutes on each league. We're going to break it down. We're going to talk through each of these conferences. We're going to start with the Big Ten. So, T.O., let me ask you this, man. It started, everyone said Indiana was the favorite to win the conference in the preseason. Everyone said that Illinois was the most dangerous team in a conference. Where do you stand on those two, and where do you stand on who the favorite is in the Big Ten?
Well, first of all, favorite to win has now turned to Purdue because they have the immovable object in the middle. And Zach Edey has been, as far as dominance is concerned, he's been Shaquille O'Neal and nothing short of it. Like he has been incredible on all fronts. He's passing out pretty well. And those guys, even those freshmen, are able to knock down shots from the perimeter. Right now, that's got to be your favorite in a Big Ten conference that, quite frankly, it's a comeback to earth moment over the past 2 weeks. I think that's fair to say. And it's come back to reality. People are catching up a little quicker.
Fanta, you see that thing spinning around here right now? You see what that is? That's T.O. taking his victory lap.
That's what that is. That's exactly what that is. But I digress. I'm still not out on Illinois. If you want to talk about that team for a little while, it just too many pieces. They still have to figure each other out with a lot of stubborn dudes and a lot of guys that want to do things a certain way. And I think by mid-January, late January, Illinois is going to be firing on all cylinders because Brett Underwood's just going to wear them down. I think that's a big piece. Xavier Johnson, the severity of his injury throws Indiana's season up for question. Jalen Hood-Schifino is going to have to take a much bigger role on top of what he already had, which was a big role. So you're looking probably upper middle part of the Big Ten Conference, I think, for Indiana. They still make the tournament. I just think that their ceiling is lowered just a little bit, depending on the severity of his injury.
Yeah, it's suffice to say it's not good. I don't know what I'm allowed to say right here at this point, but it's not good. It's a tough spot for them to be in. They've lost 3 out of 4. Fanta, are you worried at all about the fact that Davidson struggled with that Purdue struggled a little bit with some teams that aren't quite on their level, and they are shooting right now as a team 31.5% from 3?
Yes, and to be honest with you guys, that's why Purdue is 4th in my Fox Sports Top 15 this week and not 1st, 2nd, or 3rd, because I don't think they've played like one of the 3 best teams in the country in recent weeks. I think they've been figured out more. I think that they carried such a level of unknown entering this season that it's served to their benefit. It really did. Now, when you combine that with the National Player of the Year frontrunner, look, they are a Final Four contender. They are a threat. They absolutely are a threat. You can both say Purdue's a threat to be there at the end, but also has some things that should raise your eyebrows. And I think there's 2 sides to freshmen, right? Like, as much as we've heaped praise on Braden Smith and Fletcher Lawyer, sometimes certain guys do hit a wall. And I worry about that in the Big Ten because the Big Ten sometimes defeats itself with how these teams play each other.
Oh, come on.
You don't think that the Big Ten to a level?
It's the SEC of football. Like, they just beat up each other all year.
No. That's not what he's saying. That's not what he's saying. He's saying that they beat themselves because of the style that they play. Everyone's got a 5-man. It's the only basketball league in the world where everybody has a big, slow-footed 5-man. You kind of need that, right?
Yeah, and part of it is when that's all you see for then 2.5 months, it's very difficult to adjust when you get to March Madness.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Well done.
I love that T.O. is so quick to just completely.
I'll jump on my own sword. I'll jump on my own sword
please
if
do.
I'm wrong. If I'm wrong.
Wait.
So
I'll tell you this.
Let me tell you something. Wait a minute. I do have a contender though. I'm being contrarian today.
Okay. I like that.
Guys, a team that knows who they are and isn't relying on one part, and I like the way that they've grown, is Wisconsin. Wisconsin is 9-2. They are 2-0 in the Big Ten. They have had unexpected sources of offense. They have 4 scores of double figures of top 20 KenPom defense.
Mm-hmm.
They are going to be a very, very tough team to play throughout the year. And it would not surprise me if we turn the calendar to February and Wisconsin was a game out or in 3rd place, hanging around, because Chucky Hepburn's increased his role. Tyler Wall is one of the more under-discussed players nationally, but if you watch Tyler Wall in a game, you know how much he means. Mm-hmm. I have an immense respect level this year for Marquette. I thought Marquette played really, really well against Wisconsin and should have probably won the game. Wisconsin had a killer mentality and beat them in Milwaukee in a game that I've seen Wisconsin lose before. I am higher on the Badgers than I ever thought I would be. That team
I am too. I am too. They have multiple guys that can beat you, and they have multiple ways that they can beat you. If they want to play Tyler Wall at the 5, they can play Tyler Wall at the 5. I'm still in on Illinois ceiling, like you mentioned, T.O. The one other team that I do want to throw out there is Penn State. I'm kind of in on Penn State. I'm kind of in on this idea that they never turn the ball over. They hit basically everything that they shoot, and they have the most unique player in the country in Jalen Pickett. So I'm in on them. All right, let's do this because I want to make sure that we get to like kind of midseason awards. Player of the year has got to be Zach Edey, right? Is there any argument you can make otherwise?
No, there's no other argument.
Coach of the year right now. Is it got to be Painter?
Yeah. I mean, conventional wisdom, yes, it has to be Painter, but I think Greg Gard, obviously deserves some consideration there.
It's not even a question. Matt Painter's the national coach of the year right now.
Yeah, I would agree with that, but just to throw an extra one in there.